First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubdan Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice today, the Golden Mother of the primordial Jigpan. Simo. Dansen Katsu. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today are Accountant to Buddha Foundation, Dhamma Sister Teresa, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and from Malaysia, Datin Li Jing, Dharma Sister, and her daughter, Dharma Sister Li Qi. And from Malaysia, Datin Tze Fei, Dharma Sister. And the PR Director of the True Buddha School Taiwan Temple, Dharma Brother Fermi Wang. And Dr. Li Zhang and her husband, Dharma Brother Liao. And Justice of Peace from Australia, Mr. Liang and Mrs. Liang. Member of the True Buddha School Scholars Group, Professor Liang and family. Good evening, everyone. How do you do? First of all, I would like to thank all the disciples and believers from all over the place. Thank you for coming. When is Golden Mother's birthday? Tomorrow. So we have a early birthday celebration for Golden Mother, and we wish her a long, prosperous life, that she will continually enjoy the offerings of incense throughout the ages. That we wish Buddha and Bodhisattva, it's like that they would always be revered for a very long time, and also that we can make offering of incense, that the incense offered to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will never cease, never stop, which means that the Dharma, the teaching, will continue to spread. We are talking about incense, not cigarettes. So that means that the Dharma flow will always continue. Actually, in each temple there is a venerable that is referred as the venerable for incense and lamps. So they all have special tasks. And what they do is their duty is to lit the incense and the lamps in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. In the past, we used oil lamps. So the venerable who lit incense, who lit lamps, who make offerings, who offer water, that's called the venerable in charge of the incense and lamps. And there's also the venerable who's in charge of greeting guests. The funniest thing is I went to Rainbow Temple and they had set up a table for reception. But that's not it. It's not reception. But this person should, like an ordained monk or nun, should greet some newcomers and to introduce them to the temple, the enshrined statues, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and to tell them that
every Sunday after 3 o'clock in Rumpo Leizang Temple, every fire opening. 这个都是要介绍。
So you need to let them know, to introduce to the new fellow disciples who just come here or any guests or visitors, so that we let them create connection with the Buddha. So it's not reception, like, set up a table and have people sat there. That's not the case. You need to introduce the temple, the Dharma teaching, the Guru, and to Buddha school, and introduce the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, how to lit the incense, how to make offering, and what kind of plans for the temple. So you need to someone that understand everything about True Buddha school. So it could be a Dharma master, a Dharma educator, a Dharma teacher, Dharma lecturer, Dharma assistant, that know many people. So if they notice someone new, then they need to introduce them. And they need to know everything about the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas too, about every deity. Like we have the newly enshrined Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Saraswati, and Uma. It's the goddess of the Ganges River. So you need to know all of them. If someone asks, who is this? And then as the introduction person, you don't know. So you need to know about all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and the procedure for the practices in order to be able to do this job. So it's not like a reception and then you bring people to eat. Of course, eating is also important, but you need to generate interest in them, to welcome them, to make them feel welcome, and to know our programs and to let them join or participate. And they need to be kind, polite, and they have to have a very good conduct and manners. If they have any needs or any favors that they need help with, like with their luggages or transport, you need to be able to resolve them all. Then only then there would be like a Sangha member who's in charge for taking care, or like hospitality. So you need to know this hospitality, monk or nun. Their duty is extremely important. This is to guide sentient beings to get on to the Dharma ship in order to arrive at the other shore. So that's the duty and responsibility of this hospitality Sangha member. It's not that we have to have beautiful ladies sitting at the desk, at the reception desk. So I need to clarify this point. So today we have the celebration, the birthday celebration of Golden Mother. So we recited the Golden Mother Sutra, and perhaps you don't quite comprehend it. So the first statement here is the Ci Yin Buddha. So that's actually Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and also the Dong Shuang Chen celestial maiden. The one that I have met is like the most gorgeous beauty that is incomparable to any beauties in the world that ever existed in the world. So the Golden Mother at the Rainbow Temple now, the one that's outdoor, is acceptable. And on her sides there are two attendants. One is Dong Shuang Chen, celestial maiden, and the other one is Xu Hui Chen, celestial maiden. And they're both gorgeous young beauties, not middle-aged women, and they're like extremely beautiful, 16-year-old. And one time I had the vision of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and she appeared to me once, and she just let me see her back and not her front, because when she appeared, what she wore, her outfit was beyond words. I cannot describe it with words. It's beautiful and dignified. It's a little bit like Anita Mui, Mei Yen Fang, when she sang the song called The Intimate Lover. There was like a snippet of the video, like the outfit that she had. I think I once saw it. So the outfit that Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva wore was similar, with the crowns and jewelries and the garments and layers upon layers. And she just like took a glance sideways, and I almost fainted. That kind of beauty was not to be found on earth. It exists only in heavens. You can't see it on earth, that kind of beauty. So I immediately passed out. It's that beautiful. So today, when we chanted the Golden Mother Sutra, there were many, many prasna light descending. Golden Mother too descended. This image here is acceptable. It's okay. And the second one, not acceptable. You know, Golden Mother is extremely beautiful. Extremely gorgeous. There are three kinds of beauty on earth. One is gorgeous, like very attractive. Oh, but this is this too skinny. But her outfit was similar. So that's what she wore. Very gorgeous and striking. That kind of beauty, striking. And the other kind, it's very radiant and just very it's just very beautiful and radiant. And the third kind is a very bewitching. Bewitching. You know how beautiful are the foxy spirits are? You know, in the legends, the spirits are extremely enchanting and bewitching. There was a joke before that the pet of mom is the cat and the pet of brother is the dog and the pet of the sister is her bird, and then the pet of the father is the fox spirit, the foxy lady. So the witch or the spirits are also very beautiful. Do you know the 3 daughters of Mahaswara, which is the greatest demon? They are extremely beautiful. However, Sakyamuni Buddha under the Bodhi tree was totally unmoved. But had it been Grandmaster, I would have followed them. Of course, this is just a joke. So the 3 daughters of Mahaswara were extremely beautiful. So one is gorgeous or striking. The other kind beautiful and radiant, and the third kind is bewitching or enchanting. And at home, Grandmaster has 3 ghosts, and they're all very seductive and alluring. They all live inside my fridge. And I asked them, why do you want to live in the fridge? And they said that the temperature in the fridge is just right for them. So in this Golden Mother Sutra of the deliverance, perfection and liberation through meditative stability and wisdom, it mentioned about the Xuan Xuan Sangren. So the unexalted human Xuan Xuan actually is not a human being, but it is the earliest highest consciousness who transmitted to Mu Gong. Mu Gong is the wood master of the East. That's Donghua Dijun. So if you watch the TV series called The Eternal Love, the 10,000 Miles of Peach Blossoms, it talks about the Donghua Dijun who descended to samsara and was together with the 9-tailed fox. But this 9-tailed fox is that seductive, bewitching beauty. And then Mu Gong or Donghua Dijun transmitted to Golden Mother. This is Mu Gong of the East and Golden Mother of the West. And Golden Mother discovered me in the Saha world. So, and because of that, we have 2 Buddha schools now. And here, it mentioned about Tzu Hang, the great master Tzu Hang, which is also Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, or Guan Yin Bodhisattva. And the great Tzu Hang master asked Golden Mother. And there were also other figures. The celestial venerated great accomplishment, utmost holy promulgator of Confucianism to pacify the world, Lord Confucius. So, 大乘自生心如知识天尊, that refers to Confucius. the sage Confucius of China, and he was from Qifu of Shandong province. And Sitou is in Liaoning province. And you're from Liaoning, and Liaoning is next to Shandong province. And Sifu is in Shandong province, very close to North Korea. At this time, Korea was united, and they claimed that Confucius belonged to Korea and not to China. But actually, Confucius was in Shifu of Shandong province, which was close to Korea. They also claimed that Tofu belonged to Korea. But actually, tofu is Chinese, and they claim everything is Korean. So that's Confucius. And the other one is Taisang Laojun, the supreme old ruler, which is the Lord of the Taoist teaching. Taisang Laojun Zhangjiao Tianzun. That's Taoist. And Sakyamuni Buddha. So Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism all praised Golden Mother. So it's written in this sutra. In order to be liberated, what Golden Mother said was correct. One is meditation, and the other one is wisdom. So this is not just the typical knowledge, but it's the Buddha wisdom, the wisdom of the Tathagata. So by the wisdom of the Buddha, you meditate, and by the meditative stability and wisdom are the two wings that make you fly to the other shore. By the power of meditation and wisdom, you can arrive at the other shore. And the other shore means liberation. So is there any issue on earth? Nothing. Any problem on earth? None. But the key point is if you can be liberated. So today we celebrate Golden Mother's birthday. So we are seated here, or you join through the school for the goal of being liberated. So Sakyamuni Buddha had this destiny to come to the Saha world, and the main goal is to teach all sentient beings about liberation, so that people can learn and to be liberated and become liberated. Is there anything so important in Grandmaster's mind? Actually, there's only one. Am I able to go to the Buddha land? Am I able to become a Bodhisattva or Buddha, to be liberated and reach the non-return realm? Only that matters, nothing else. Not everything else is small matters or middling matters, mediocre. So many people come to Grandmaster and said, Grandmaster, something really bad happened. what happened? The pigs at home got the swine flu. So that's a bad thing. No, that's nothing. When you're supposed to die, you die. So if they got some swine flu, then if you can save them, you save them. If you can't, then just let them die. Even life and death are small matter. Jesus once said, someone wanted to follow Jesus, and Jesus agreed, sure, you could follow me. And that person said, but at home, my father just died, so let me take care of that first before I follow you. And Jesus told him, let the dying, let the dead person takes care of the matters for the dead. If you want to follow me, just follow me. There's nothing important. Even life and death of a human being is not important. So what is the most important then? Liberation, nothing else. That lawmaker once told me, right, which I have told you, that the human being is in heaven, the money is in the bank, his wife is in somebody else's chest, and his brothers are fighting for his inheritance. That's suffering. That's the suffering of a human being. That's what the lawmaker said. But I said that's the joy of a human being. As long as you are in heaven, that's good enough. The rest is small matters. Someone came to Grandmaster and said, oh, so it's important, it's very important. Grandmaster, you have to pay attention to this. What is it? I said. And when I saw it, I just laughed. It's related to me. And she said, extremely important. How important is it? To me, the most important thing is liberation. That's why nothing should be on your mind. Doesn't matter. Of course, we know Grandmaster is old already. And Grandmaster will also age, get old and die. And now Grandmaster is already old. See, on the television, they say the 70-year-old elderly did this and that. They always refer to the 70s as old. I don't believe in this. I could still jump. What the elderly? See, I could still raise myself and jump. And if I could still bounce and leap. And it may break if I do it several times. Oh no, this belongs to the temple. Aging, and once you get old, then you would be sick. And then afterwards you will die. But these are not important. As long as a human being can be liberated and go to the Buddha land, or become a Buddha or Bodhisattva. That's what Golden Mother said in this meditative stability, wisdom, and liberation. So today, here we are listening to Dharma teachings, is that we want to learn the wisdom of the Buddha. We want to learn about meditation, to enter into samadhi. From the samadhi with form, and then to the formless samadhi. And once you enter into the formless samadhi, you gain true liberation. You know, the Buddha lands, the Pure Lands are not far. It's not that they are in heaven. Once you're liberated, the Buddha land is here with just one thought. And this is very important. Today we celebrate Golden Mother's birthday. Meditation and wisdom. These two key points are something that we want to study. And giving, that's the path for merit accumulation. Endurance and patience is the path of the human. And diligence, so in your practice of meditation and wisdom, you have to persevere and be diligent in doing it. And then moral ethics or precepts, it to teach you to become a good person and never create bad karma. Actually, a human being is complex. It's a mix of good and bad. And sometimes you have good thoughts, sometimes you have bad thoughts. Sometimes you say something good, but you think of something bad. And sometimes you do something that seems good, and then the next action is bad. So that's why it teaches you to abide by the precepts, to follow the Buddha's precepts. So as a spiritual cultivator, you have to abide by the precepts. By keeping the precepts, then you have no worries and nothing on your mind, and only then you would be able to enter into meditation. That's all about Golden Mother. We will continue on Lamdre. It's almost 50 minutes. Here it talks about Mahamudra fruit continuum. The causal continuum contained at the causal ground. Tenzin Katjo. I'm telling you that in your past life, for several lifetimes ago, you were at the back Tibet in a temple called the Caojie Temple. You were the abbot at that temple. And that was close to the great snowy mountain Dangxiang. You were the abbot there. And although that temple belonged to the Bon tradition, but later on followed the tradition of Gelugpa. Please be seated. So you were the abbot of this Chaojie temple. Close to the, behind it was the great snowy mountain Dangxiang. So the causal ground, or the causal position, contain the causal continuum, like gene inside our body. This is the cause. At this causal ground, we often say the tantric Vajradhatu and Dharmadhatu. So the Vajradhatu belongs to the fruit realm, and the Dharmadhatu belongs to the causal realm. So we practice from causal ground to the fruit ground. So because the causal ground contains the causal continuum, after it's purified and remedied, like being watered and fertilized by the methods continuum. So the cause is like a seed, and then you water it, you fertilize it, and purify it, and then it sprouts and grow to become a tree. And then there would be branches and leaves and flowers and bear fruits, and then you obtain or attain the fruit ground. That's what it meant. Thus, it is the instruction on the fruit continuum, as in the verse. The Mahamudra fruit continuum is to know everything through the four empowerments of the fruit. So what it meant here, in the fruition ground of Mahamudra, one has to go through four kinds of empowerments. So these four kinds of empowerments are the same as watering it, fertilizing it, to let it grow until it bears fruits. That's what it meant. So these four kinds of empowerments are extremely important. Simply said, they are Vis empowerment, empowerments for the outer tantric practices, empowerment for the inner tantric practices, for the highest yoga tantra, and the great perfection empowerment. By these four empowerments, you can bring someone from the causal ground to the fruition ground. Initially, at the empowerment of the causal ground, it is necessary to have a real mudra or wisdom mudra. At the path ground, at the moment of the realization of the fruition or resultant ground, the attainment is by relying on the mudra. It is referred as the attainment of the Mahamudra, or the hero of the consort. Through the secret mantra of the Bodhisattva path, all the supreme body attainment is unequal, therefore it is referred as Maha, or the greatest. So at the causal ground, you need to use a real mudra or wisdom mudra. So for the third level empowerment, the highest Yoga Tantra, at the causal ground, you need to have a real mudra or a real physical consort. And a wisdom mudra is the consort of the sky. But when you realize the fruit, is you have attainment by relying on your mudra. So, when in your spiritual cultivation, you have attainment by relying on a mudra, that's called the attainment of the Mahamudra, or the hero with the consort. And the Supreme Buddhi attainment is unequal or unparalleled. That's why it's referred as the greatest or Maha. So with my explanation, now you understand why in Tantrayana we have consorts, because consorts can help the yogi, and the yogi can also help the consort. And the path is practice by use of desire and great bliss. It's actually very profound. You can turn or transform the great bliss into emptiness in order to prove or to confirm the emptiness. But for most people, before spiritual union with Yidam, it is best not to practice this. It's best if you are already in spiritual union with the Yidam, so that the Yidam can guide you, and the Yidam can appear and enter into you and to bring you to the Buddha land or Pure Land. That's the spiritual cultivation without use of consort. But in Tantrayana, there is also a practice with consort. Let me tell you, there's a boy who is going for a date for arranged marriage. When he was dating happily with the girl, there was a 3-year-old girl who called him Dad. And the girl was very shocked. And he immediately explained, "Oh, she's not my daughter." And the girl replied, "I know, because she's my daughter." So buy one, get one free. So we have similar things, a lot of these similar things in the world. First, the man already have children, or the woman already have a child, and they could still get married, even with children. But the spiritual cultivation in Tantrayana, and if you practice with the wisdom consort of the sky, that's intangible, but actually it's also tangible because you can see her, but she has no physical body. But even without physical body, you can see her appearance and her outfit and her look. So that's why there are many Dakinis who are consorts of the cosmic space. And a yogi or male practitioner should definitely be non-leaking, should be a non-leaking yogi. And Grandmaster too is a non-leaking yogi. Let me, perhaps people in the world will not believe in this non-leaking holy man or honorable man, but Grandmaster is.
告诉大家根据美国研究发现，这个到底
According to the research in America, I don't know if it's real or not,
这个被斗非常乱的
that people who don't make their bed compared to people who have tidy bed is about 50% more creative.
我个人是被斗是很干净很
But Grandmaster's bed is always very tidy and
那
clean,
我是不够格，
so I'm not creative.
创造力要高出50%，床很乱的，我是看到很多床
So I've seen many people with untidy bed. When I check a feng shui at other people's house, in this no space to walk. It's like a battlefield. And then they show the bed, and oh my God, it's like a pig's stall. It's really disorder and upheaval. It's really a mess. Everything, clothes and everything all over the bed. But I'm very, very clean. I like cleanliness, so it said this, and I don't like it. I'm very clean and neat. And people who are always forgetful and always lose things. Also, they don't care about reputation as much. But people who eat a lot compared to people who eat a little bit have higher EQ by 90%. EQ by 90%. So Zhen Hong is hiding. Zhen Hong eats a lot. So do you believe it? People who like to sleep in compared to people who has a routine life is more empathetic. Do you believe it? And people who are often late compared to people who are always on time are more humorous by 70%. Okay, but I'm never late. When I'm on a date with her, I'm always early by 10 minutes. I'm never late. But now, what can I say? Because I have to wait for her. It turned out that without knowing, I turned out to be such a marvelous person. There's this joke, like, was listening, like in school, people who always bully and devious and like a mafia in the future would be those who are crazy and mad and like a mafia can become a president in the future.
这很奇怪啊。
That's strange.
像正版的人物，像很正经的，他本身很正经。
So the proper man, like my fellow classmates who have good grades, they are not successful. But like Grandmaster, who cheated on his exams, can become a Grandmaster. I've told this joke, right? Someone bought some parrots, was going to buy a parrot, and the boss said, this one is very expensive. Why? You know, this parrot is incredible. It can play the piano. So the claws of the parrot can play music on the piano. So this kind of parrot is really expensive. And how about this one? Oh, this one is even more expensive. Why? Because it can use the computer. So a parrot can even use the computer. Of course, he's very smart. And the third parrot, oh, this parrot is even more expensive. It's incredible. So what can he do? There's nothing he can do. Then why is he so expensive? Because the other two called him Sizhen or Grandmaster. So Grandmaster doesn't know about anything else except Buddha Dharma. I only know how to cultivate spiritually, but you're all talents. But you call me Grandmaster. The biggest thing on earth is liberation, nothing else. When the mouse is hiding inside the hole, when it hears the purr or the meow of the cat, then it would hide inside and not getting out. And then one day it heard the dog barking sound. So the mouse got out and it turned out to be a cat, and the cat ate the mouse. So the mouse dad taught the other children that, hey, in order to live on now in the world, you have to master more than 2 languages. That is true. In Buddhism, there are also 2 things. You have to master meditation and also to master the wisdom of the Tathagata. So the wisdom of the Tathagata is the theory, and meditation is the application, the real application. It's not useless to know the Buddhist concept, but it's to make you to understand how to meditate. So once you understand the concept, you need to be able to apply it. So that's why it's like 2 languages. One is theory and the other one is the real application. And the real application is your mastery of the meditation. And the theory is the wisdom of the Tathagata. A told me recently, my wife told me that we want to set up an environment for English speaking. So the whole family members have to speak English. If anyone speaks Chinese, then you would get $100. It would be a fine, $100. And how long have you maintained it? For about a month. Wow. So you must have good result. And then he said, well, our English does not progress very much, but we learn 2 languages. What 2 languages? One is silence, and the other one is group talk, I think. When I was in the university, I liked English least. And when Simu was in high school, she loves English. She memorized it, all the vocabularies. When I was in the university, I often said, well, I will not go outside the country. I'm fine staying here in Taiwan. Why do I want to go abroad? That's why I don't need to study English. That's why my English is really bad. So for any exams, the English all over my desk. Oh, body language. I wrote everywhere, even on my legs, and also my cheat notes and everything. So I barely passed in order to graduate. The saddest thing is like, how could I end up here in America? And those with good English still stay in Taiwan. And I'm the one with bad English, ended up in America. So I told Simu, you know, please. I had a disciple called Karen. She's a Caucasian girl. And Simu told Karen that I don't want Grandmaster anymore. And Karen said, really? Then, okay, let me have him. So Simu said that she doesn't want you anymore, so let me have you. You know? Had I decided resolutely to be together with Karen, then my English would be really good now. That's because of the environment. Because if you're in an environment of English speakers, then you would master English. Too bad that Simu never let me, never loosen her grip until today. So, if you follow everybody to study Buddhism, then because of the environment, you would also master or understand Buddha Dharma.